VC, what's up? I'm reading this book, Vinyl Junkies, and it's a great read. Just prompted me to make a comment, about the tend to dissect things, whether or not it's good or bad, or is it a psychiatric disorder? This is what I want to say right quick about being a vinyl junkie. The perspective of what it is, whether it's good or bad, I think can be discussed as long as the day is long. And I say that ultimately what really matters is whatever the person decides to do. If collecting is creating a problem for someone, then hopefully that they address that. But I, at this point, feel no need to justify being a collector, or that collecting is something to be concerned about, other than when it is a concern. But as something to do in life, it's just the same as playing sports, collecting cars, driving cars, being a horticulturist, being a scientist, one who studies stars. There's an array of activities, and this is one of them, and everything has its place. And since everything under the sun is going on, being a vinyl junkie is one of those things. And what am I trying to say? It's like I'm really enjoying the book, and I'm relating to all of this information, and the stories and the points of view, and it always creates further continuation of self-reflection of you know checking in with oneself. How am I doing? Am I okay? Am I running away hard from something? And the answer is no. I'm really clear about this being a pretty clear choice about how I live and how I choose to live in this world. I just really long ago really understood that this idea that there is a template for normal living that we're supposed to plug into is ultimately subjective. It's kind of a watery thing that's agreed upon depending on where you live on this planet. With that in mind, I've gone through so-called milestones of life, getting older and having partners and helping to raise children, and being engaged, working different jobs, having a career, doing voluntary community work, all kinds of things, some of those things continue. But being focused on records, music, collecting ephemera in a big way, it's fine. It's, as an endeavor, it has its place in this world, I would say that if I were one of those people who was madly avoiding some kind of deep-rooted problem through collecting, then my heart would go out to me. But when I check my situation, that's not me. I love what I'm doing. I, I love what I'm doing. I think it pretty much speaks for itself. When I make an appearance here, and anyone that's in my life knows I'm way cool with what I'm doing, because I know that I could make different choices and have different things happening. If I wanted different things, I could make different choices. So I continue to make these choices. Just thought I would talk about that as I'm reading about serotonin levels, and the whole thing about, you know, reasons to be proud of being a collector because you're more creative. Of course, I'm all into that. I'm a human being, and I have ego and stuff. But I also really try to stay or try to plug into this whole idea of a objectivity within one's own scope as much as possible. I attempt to, within my own experience, be as objective with the information as possible, uh, knowing that there are emotional biases, that come and go, but to try and not, but to be aware of them and not be so attached as to be psychotic about it, And so what I'm saying with all these words is, once again, is, I myself am real okay with being a vinyl junkie. And for those that need to make changes, please do, if one is concerned about their collecting habits and what it means, and if it's pulling you away from a direction you really want to be in, well, I want to encourage you to indeed stop collecting, stop doing what you don't want to do. I'm just happy to say that I'm not one of those. I'm quite happy. Earlier today, I was posting pictures on FB of buttons and some other collectible stuff that's all over the house. Part of the fun of this is archiving it, number one, and then displaying it like almost in a museum. I like that aspect of the internet, that it's like an online 24/7 archive available to anyone to observe, to look at, to read, and you can deposit this information, the music itself, as well as the visuals, the evidence. And that's another thing, it's like evidence, artifacts. I just love this myself, I really do. And yeah, today's a good day. I'm just checking about my personal chemical levels. It's like, how aware of a feeling of depression am I today? I have no awareness of it, which is nice, because that's how it is. It's like you can literally check like a level on a car, how's my transmission fluid, how is my oil, how are my wipers, and it's like, this is a real clear day, which I love, and I get up with no expectation, and so when days are clear, it's great. This is a great read. I really thank you a lot, Dan, Vinyl Fury, for these gifts. Fantastic. Dustin, I'm not ignoring I know you want me to answer your thread, but I hope you can feel me, my friend. I do things, I'm a nice person and I do answer requests, but I'm a Cancer, and so I got to do it the way I feel it, you know what I'm saying? And that's just really, I think that's the best way to be, is honest, and it doesn't always make for smooth sailing, but it makes for clarity.